everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to this week's episode of Nichole's Notions, brought to you by Pick Your Stitch. This week we are pressing through week 2 for quilting month, and as you can tell, you guessed it, we're talking about pressing tools. We have a lot to share with you this week, so buckle up, grab a notepad, and let's take some notes because we're going to get through this together. First thing I want to show you guys is this wonderful ironing board cover that we have. This is one that a lot of you have seen here in the shop. We use it for our classes. You've used it. Now we have it in stock. This is a wonderful, wonderful cover to use for your ironing board. It is nice and padded. It's very, very thick padding, which is something I personally love. The covering on this ironing board cover has a really great feel to it. It's almost like a canvas or a home deck fabric, so your blocks aren't going to slide around. Once you put things down, they're going to stay in place. Another great feature of this ironing board cover is that it has this silicone pad right here. So if you're somebody who owns one of those super cool irons that you never have to sit up, or if you're somebody who just likes to leave your iron down because you've got shoulder problems, this silicone cover right here is going to protect your ironing board from any heat damage from your iron. Another great feature of this ironing board cover is the pocket that you have right here in front of you. This is really great to hold a can of spray starch if you need to hold some pins in there, some water, anything. This is a nice, wide, sturdy pocket. You can hold lots of stuff in here. One of the other really great products we have to talk about this week is this cordless iron. We've talked about irons before. I absolutely love the Singer iron. Those of you who've bought it, you love it. I know you've been using it, but this is a different iron that we have. This is a cordless Panasonic iron, and it has a ceramic sole plate on it. It's a little bit smaller of an iron, so it's not quite as heavy. You're not restricted by your cord at all. This is your charging base right here. If you want to fill up your water, you just take this right off, fill up your water right in there. It has steam. It has all the great features of regular iron, just in a little bit more compact and cordless version. We have one more iron to show you this week. This is the Mini Mighty Steam Iron. This thing is perfect to take to class or to take to retreats. It has a tiny water reservoir in it, so it has steam capabilities. The cord is super long on it, and this sucker gets hot. I have one of these at home. This was the only iron I used in my sewing room for a very long time. It's tiny, it's compact, it's so hot, it's wonderful. Absolutely love this iron. But here's the great part. We have these cute little carrying cases that this iron fits into perfectly. We have lots of different colors. Of course, I like the pink one. So we all know I've had some really bad jokes in the past, but we need to go ahead and press on to the next issue. The next product that I want to talk to you about is this wool pressing mat. If you have not used one of these wool pressing mats, this is a game changer. This is an incredible, incredible tool to have in your sewing room. We have these in many different sizes. This is actually a medium-sized one. We have a cute little 8.5-inch square pressing mat. We have a 13.5-inch square pressing mat, and then we've got the big daddy of them all, the 17 by 24 wool pressing mat. There are many different reasons why this wool pressing mat is so wonderful and so great to use. The main reason, my favorite reason for using the wool pressing mat is because it will heat your block from both sides. So when you're pressing your block or any of your fabric on a wool pressing mat, the wool absorbs the heat. And if you use steam, what happens is that steam will work its way back up. It just makes ironing so much quicker, so much easier. Everything stays in place better. It's just absolutely incredible. If you have taken a class with me, you know how much I love my design boards and how much I use them to transport my fabric and my patterns from one place to another. This wool pressing mat acts just like those design boards. Because of the texture, it wants to hold on and grip your fabric. That means that not only do your blocks not slide around when they're on the mat, but it also makes everything extremely portable. You can take this back and forth from your sewing machine to your pressing station. You can walk around the room with it. Anything you need to do, the fabric's not going to slip right off of your mat. Another great thing about the mat is that again, because of the texture, you can use straight pins. If you have to block anything, if you are using it for applique, your straight pins stick right down inside of there, and it's perfect. The last notion that we're going to talk about for pressing week is my absolute 100% favorite notion that I own and have in my sewing room. I actually own 3 of these. I plan on getting more because that's how obsessed I am with these. This is a Tailor's clapper. This is a wood block that is left untreated so that it can absorb the heat from your block. What happens when that heat gets absorbed faster from your block is that your block will cool off faster, which sets it in place faster. So anytime that you press a seam, I'm somebody who likes to press my seams open. I really, really love my blocks to be flat. I will press my seam open with this wool mat. Even if I'm pressing to the side, I'm going to press and then I'm going to lay this clapper down on top of it. Between the heat being retained from the mat, the fact that this is working to not only flatten my block, but absorb some of that heat, this is the winning combination right here. The wool mat, the Tailor's clapper, you couldn't ask for anything better to get absolutely perfect blocks. Okay, let's keep pressing through. We talked about a lot of stuff this week, so let's review really, really quick. We have the ironing board cover, we've got the wool pressing mat, we have the mini iron, the cordless iron, and my favorite, the Tailor's clapper. All of this stuff this week through next Wednesday, March 17th, is going to be 25% off. Thank you for watching this episode of Nichole's Notions. We will see you next week as we quilt our way through March.